Here's a hard truth that may sting. Many men's good morning texts come across as weak, replaceable, and easy to forget. They believe they're being sweet and showing effort, but instead, they're relinquishing their power before the day even starts. It subtly conveys, "Please think of me. Please acknowledge me. Please validate me." Unfortunately, that air of neediness tends to linger longer than the message itself. Consider why your good morning receives a cold reply, while another man's simple 2 words resonate with her all day. It's not luck or magic, it's psychology. The initial message she reads in the morning doesn't just start her day, it shapes her perception of you. If your words lack strength, depth, or presence, she'll likely scroll past without a second glance. Yet here's the harsh reality. It isn't the number of words that matters, but what those words signify. A boy sends long messages to plead for attention, while a man crafts a single line that can shift her emotional landscape. The key difference lies not in the text, but in the man sending it. In this video, I'll share 7 effective good morning messages that can shift her perspective. These messages will embed you in her mind so deeply that she finds herself thinking about you hours later, replaying your thoughts as she goes about her day and even at night. Additionally, I'll show you how Stoic philosophy transforms these words into echoes of strength, calm, and masculine presence. Always remember, it's not the good morning that counts, but the man delivering it. Morning is more than just a time, it's a gateway. It's where the mind is still impressionable, shaping what lies ahead. This is why your first words carry more significance than you might realize. They don't just greet her, they shape her day. If you appear weak, you're likely to be perceived as mere background noise. Conversely, if you convey strength, calmness, and memorability, you become the thought she can't shake off. Most men misunderstand this by confusing attention with presence. They assume effort means sending long texts, emojis, or desperate words of affirmation. They fail to recognize that women are attracted to signal, not noise. A true signal commands attention by its very nature. Think about Marcus Aurelius. When he rose at dawn, he didn't waste time on embellished messages. He grounded himself. He focused on duty, clarity, and strength. Your good morning message should reflect the same qualities. It needs to be more than just a greeting. It should embody your essence, discipline, and illustrate that you act from strength, not weakness. Here's the hard truth. A good morning text won't win her heart if your life is small, your words insincere, and your presence weak. However, if you are grounded, disciplined, and magnetic, even a simple 2-word message can resonate like thunder in her mind. Let's break down the 7 good morning messages that will keep her thinking about you throughout the day. Each is not merely a line, but a strategy, a reflection of your masculinity. When you master them, you'll never send another weak text again. 1. The grounded reminder. Most men wake up and express their weaknesses in their first text. They desperately seek attention, overdoing it with messages like, "Good morning, beautiful. I hope you slept well. Can't stop thinking about you." What does that communicate? It shows you have no other focus except for her. It indicates that your happiness hinges on her response. It's not love, it's neediness dressed as romance. Women can detect that weakness before they finish the first line. The reality is, a genuine man won't oversaturate her with words. His strength lies in restraint. His message is concise, grounded, solid, unwavering. Something like, "Morning, stay sharp today." This isn't a call for attention, it's presence. It's calm authority. Here's the psychology at play. Humans naturally respond to those exuding certainty. A short, grounded message signals stability. You're not vying for her attention. Instead, you present yourself as a man with direction and ownership over his day. This energy creates safety and polarity. You're not saying, "Please notice me," but rather, "I observe, yet remain unaffected." Picture Tom, 48. He used to send lengthy emotional paragraphs every morning. Initially, she replied politely, but over time her responses grew shorter until they stopped altogether. Why? His messages were drenched in desperation. Eventually, he transformed his approach. He began sending straightforward messages like, "Morning, own the day." Her replies shifted. she began leaning into the strength behind his words. The change wasn't about the words, it was about the man behind them. Marcus Aurelius once stated, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." Weak morning texts are neither right nor true, they're simply noise. A grounded message echoes your truth, demonstrating that you speak from a place of presence, not panic. The shift requires you to cultivate messages that don't emanate insecurity. Instead, convey strength. Keep your messages brief and steady. When you send her a grounded reminder, you're not just wishing her a good morning, you're establishing your presence in her mind before the world affects her. 2. The subtle challenge. Many men err here, believing women prefer comfort first thing in the morning. They think showering her with compliments will make her feel secure and desired. But the truth is, comfort without challenge undermines attraction. A woman does not yearn for the man who makes her feel safe, like a teddy bear. She craves the man who ignites her passion, inspires her to rise, and pushes her to meet his energy. This is why the subtle challenge is so impactful. Instead of coddling her ego, you challenge it. You send a message that not only wishes her well, but also calls her to action. Something like, "Morning. Don't let today beat you. You're stronger than that." That isn't sweet or needy, that's strength. It suggests you see her potential and have higher expectations than the world around her. That expectation is thrilling. Here's the psychology behind it. People generally rise to meet the standards set before them. When a man offers a challenge, he positions himself as a leader, someone whose approval must be earned. This reverses the norm, making you the prize she seeks to impress. Women, particularly younger ones, are instinctively inclined to seek validation from men who do not freely offer it. Consider David, 52, who texts a younger woman he's seeing. Instead of saying, "Good morning, hope you crush it today," he writes, "Don't let today control you, own it." She chuckles but feels something stir. Later she texts, "You'd be proud of me today." His challenge made her want to prove herself to him. That's the essence of the subtle challenge. Epictetus said, "Difficulties reveal what men truly are." When you remind her of this truth and frame the day as a test, you embody a man who awakens her potential rather than simply soothing her feelings. And women always remember the man who makes them stronger. Shift your approach. Don't text like a cheerleader, text like a commander. Your words should compel her upward, not cushion her downward. The man who can challenge her without cruelty will linger in her thoughts all day. 3. The mystery line. Here's a common mistake average men make. They lay everything bare. They remove all tension and fail to engage her imagination. They write lengthy messages explaining their feelings and hopes. What happens? She stops thinking about them entirely. Desire thrives not on certainty, but on mystery. The mystery line plants a seed in her mind that she cannot stop nurturing. Instead of telling her precisely what you mean, you leave space for her imagination to explore. A simple line like, "This day will tell me something about you," works wonders. It invites curiosity. What does he mean? What will today reveal? What does he perceive in me that I don't see myself? You transform from just another guy texting her to a riddle she can't stop contemplating. The psychology here taps into the Zeigarnik effect, which holds that unfinished thoughts linger longer in the mind than completed ones. By sending an incomplete message, you create an open loop in her brain. She won't resolve it without thinking of you, and that's exactly where you want to be, in her thoughts, quietly and persistently. Picture Mark 50. He sends a young woman a morning text. "The way you handle today will say a lot." He doesn't elaborate, he leaves it open. She rereads it multiple times, her mind racing with questions about his meaning, whether she'll meet his expectations, and if he'll be proud of her. Meanwhile, Mark goes about his day, grounded and unfazed. That contrast amplifies his presence. Seneca stated, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." Embrace this truth. Allow her imagination to do the heavy lifting. Instead of providing closure, you provide intrigue. Mystery is the fuel that feeds desire. The shift. Stop sending texts that explain everything. Send lines that say less but imply more. Give her a question to ponder, a thought that lingers. When her mind keeps circling back to you unconsciously, that's mastery and presence. 4. The silent image. Many men believe that more typing equals more remembrance. Yet every additional word risks revealing weakness. The most robust presence often requires no words. This is where the silent image shines. It can implant you in her mind more profoundly than extensive messages can. The psychology here is that human beings are inherently visual. Our brains process images far faster than text. A single picture can etch itself into memory and evoke emotions long after words fade. When you send her a morning image, not a needy selfie but a grounded and raw moment like a sunrise or a cup of coffee, you present yourself as a man who perceives the world differently. No caption is necessary. She interprets the significance herself. Imagine Daniel, 47. He doesn't text, "Good morning, babe." Instead, he shares a photo of his morning run, the empty street, dawn breaking. No words are needed. The woman receiving it finds herself staring longer than she admits. She senses his discipline without a boast. She envisions his pace, breath, and focus. Most importantly, she envisions him. That's how you plant yourself in her thoughts silently. Now contrast this with the insecure man who sends a messy bedroom selfie with a caption like, "Good morning, cutie, thinking of you." What does this convey? His world revolves around her. He presents nothing better than his neediness. She'll simply scroll past, smiling politely, and forget him quickly. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The silent image allows you to show her the colors of yours: strength, discipline, presence. No explanation is needed. The image speaks louder than words. The shift is clear. Stop clouding her phone with noise. Instead, offer images that graze her memory. When she sees your morning not as a plea for attention, but as a glimpse of strength, she won't just think of you momentarily. She'll remember you repeatedly as her day slows down. 5. The frame setter. Most men misjudge the goal of a good morning message. They think it's to center her. They revolve around her like planets revolving around the sun, expending energy into her day while being energyless themselves. That's weakness. A real man doesn't revolve, he sets the orbit. He doesn't lose himself in her frame, he establishes his, inviting her in. This is the role of the frame setter. Rather than asking about her plans, you state yours. Instead of pleading for her attention, you reveal your mission. Morning, training at 7. Meeting stacked afterward. Win the day. It's short, direct and complete. No apologies, no fluff. It communicates, I'm a man on a mission, and my life moves forward regardless of you. The psychology running here is that women are drawn to momentum, direction, and men whose lives are already active. When you frame your day with purpose, you instantly differentiate yourself from men who seek validation. She doesn't merely read your words, she feels your energy. She envisions you in motion, building, conquering, and shaping your world before she's even taken her first sip of coffee. That image stays in her thoughts. Consider Anthony, 50. He previously sent lengthy morning check-ins asking, "Hey, how's your day looking? What are you up to?" He thought he was showing concern, but in truth he exhibited passivity. One day he revised his approach. He sent, "Morning, gym done, off to work, eyes forward." Suddenly her replies changed. She was no longer detailing her schedule. She was chasing his energy and wanting to be part of his momentum. The difference was in the frame he created. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself each dawn, "At day's first light, contemplate what it means to live as a man." This is what the frame setter does. It asserts that you live from discipline, not merely existing. Your day is already within your control, and you are not waiting for her to grant you permission to experience it. Make this shift. Stop revolving your morning texts around her. Center yourself. Let her witness your mission, motion, and discipline. When she awakens to find you already making progress, she won't just think about you. She'll wonder how to keep pace with you. 6. The playful tease. Many men forget an essential truth. Attraction derives not only from strength, but also from contrast. You can be grounded, serious, and disciplined, but without any playfulness or spark, you might feel heavy. That heaviness alone doesn't magnetize. Women yearn for the man who carries authority in one breath and can drop a playful line in the next. This balance of control and humor makes you unforgettable. The playful tease embodies this. Rather than showering her with insincere compliments, you introduce a light challenge framed in humor. Try not to stir up chaos before noon. "I'm counting on you." It's not needy and it's not fluffy. It signals playful authority. You're teasing her while maintaining control, creating deeper connections beyond mere smiles. The psychology behind it is that teasing generates a microdose of tension and release. It flirts without desperation. It draws her closer to your sphere while acknowledging her in a way mere compliments cannot. Women associate this energy with confidence because only a secure man can afford to tease rather than worship. Consider Robert, 49. He consistently sends polite, flattering, and safe morning messages, which is why she never thinks about him after breakfast. Then he changes the narrative completely. Instead of his usual flattery, he texts, "Don't stir up trouble before your second coffee. You know you can't handle it." Her response? Laughter, curiosity, and hours later, she references his joke in a message. The power of humor sticks and resonates like a catchy tune. Seneca remarked, "It is the power of the mind to be unconquerable." Teasing exemplifies this. You demonstrate that you're not overwhelmed by her beauty, presence, or approval. You're relaxed, ready to play. That playful energy rooted in self-control renders you magnetic. Make the shift. Stop sending heavy, predictable texts. Inject playfulness. Use humor not as a clown, but as a king confident enough to laugh. The man who can tease from strength will stay in her thoughts all day, not as the safe option, but as the man who made her feel invigorated before her day even began. 7. The timeless Stoic note. Every man sends good morning texts, yet only a select few share words that outlast the morning. This distinction sets you apart, not through emojis or flattery, but through wisdom. When you send a message that anchors her mind in something profound and timeless, you elevate yourself beyond just another face in her inbox. The timeless Stoic note involves sharing a piece of wisdom, not preachy or lecturing, but as an intriguing thought. Something like, Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What color are you painting today?" This approach neither flatters nor pleads. It challenges her to reflect. It positions you as someone who values discipline, philosophy, and depth, leaving her with questions that linger in her mind. The psychology suggests that women bond deeply with men who evoke emotions beyond mundane excitement. When you encourage her to think and introduce wisdom that reshapes her day, you create an emotional and intellectual anchor. She starts seeing you not just as attractive, but as rare, someone who sharpens her instead of distracting her. Picture Michael, 53, sending his young interest a morning note. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Remember this today." She reads it multiple times, and later in the day, as she feels overwhelmed, his words resurface. By then, they're not just Seneca's words, they belong to him. He becomes the voice she hears during her moments of vulnerability. This isn't just attraction, it's influence. Epictetus wrote, "Don't explain your philosophy, embody it." The timeless Stoic note does precisely that. You don't boast about your depth. You embody wisdom effortlessly within her day, and she recognizes the difference. Make this shift. Stop wasting mornings with words that fade by lunchtime. Start sending messages that resonate until dusk. When you position yourself as a man who offers strength, clarity, and timeless insights into her life, you'll not only keep her thinking about you throughout the day, you'll prompt her to question why no other man has ever communicated with her like this. Now you grasp the truth. These 7 good morning messages aren't mere tricks or magic spells. They're reflections, mirrors of the man you truly are. If you're grounded, disciplined, and magnetic, they'll echo in her mind. However, if you're needy, hollow and weak, they'll vanish before she finishes her coffee. So here's your call to action. Go to the comments and write this phrase: "My words carry weight." This is the standard you must uphold. Your words are not trivial, they're not noise. They represent extensions of your presence, your frame, and your masculinity. When your words carry weight, even a simple two-line message can anchor deep within her thoughts. If you're eager to enhance that presence, strip away weakness, and build the kind of man women will never forget, subscribe. This isn't just a channel, it's a brotherhood. Each week we mold men into remarkable individuals. Each week we cultivate strength that cannot be overlooked. Always remember, a boy texts to seek attention. A man texts because he already is. Strive to be that man.